Jackie, welcome back from Deutschland House. Tell us about Das Boot.
Well, yeah, and I'm still blown away. I mean, I've only been back a couple of days and I'm still completely blown away what Das Boot was really all about.
It means the boat, so tell us.
Basically a boat show. And when we were first approached last year by Roland and Beulah from African Dive Adventures, they came to explain to us what it was about and why they thought it would be a good idea for tourism to attend.
Okay, and you were the only rep of a South African tourism organisation there.
Correct. We were the only people from tourism there. There were no other organisations. So it was really quite a privilege for us to go and very kindly be offered space on the stand by African Dive Adventures.
And any reaction from the people who were visiting the exposition?
Well, over a 10-day period, we could hardly walk or talk. There is a phenomenal excitement about South Africa. It would definitely appear, and certainly having spoken to a lot of experts over there, that we're in for a very good ride over the next 3 years. South Africa is very much the flavour of the month.
Okay, now tell us what it looks like. I mean, are there only boats there? What do you see when you go there?
You see everything. Everything that has got to do with water, you see. If you take... to put a picture to this, there's 17 exhibition halls. For example, one exhibition hall might be the size of Shelley Centre. Now, you fill those with 1,160 odd exhibitors. Now you start getting a picture of what there is actually out there on offer. So anything from ocean to inland water to dams to on top of water, underneath water, or anything associated actually with very healthy outdoor living was a huge hit. And that's, I mean, the interest is phenomenal. People were flying in from all over Europe to pop in for a day, to stay for the weekend, to come and visit.
Give us an example of when you walk, your average, what your eyes will see when you walk down an aisle.
Well, I mean, you've got your retail, then you've got your boating. For example, in a couple of the big boating areas, you've got nothing but multi-millions worth of euros and dollars worth of yachts, incredible super yachts, right down to tiny little paddling boats. So you've got your four-wheelers, which are semi-aquatic and semi-land. You've got things that just open up your mind. I spent quite a lot of time speaking to the Formula One German world champion. So you've got everything from those sort of boats to what people can afford and what people perhaps very much in the higher LSM live as, their lifestyle.
Okay, now what will your feedback be when you speak to the tourism people here?
Far more beneficial for South Africa to have a stronger South African presence. It was very difficult for us to keep up with all the inquiries. With us going, we were promoting largely our aquatic, our diving, our Protea Banks and our Aliwal Shoal. But having said that, everyone was asking about the adrenaline junkie stuff. So we pushed a lot about Oribi Gorge. And people's eyes were just opening. And they kept coming back more and more and more. So we need more feet on the ground for something like that.
Okay, but what kind of question do you get asked there by somebody interested in South Africa?
Essentially, they're asking, what is different? They've done the Caribbean, they've done this, they've done that, they've done Gozo. They want to know why here. It is long haul, but that actually is no longer a deterrent once having spoken to them. They're looking for a whole 360 picture. So they'll come for the diving, but they most definitely are going to take us up on jumping off cliffs and doing the longer zip line and what can family do. Very much also group-based. It was very interesting. So not just couples or families, very much group-based. The buddy system was very strong there.
And obviously you would try and direct them to the Hibiscus Coast.
Well, of course, where else?
Okay, but how many have you? Have you got a few names on lists and so forth?
Correct. We've got loads on lists, but we also have a lot of media. But having said that, to be fair, we were actually marketing South Africa and then obviously positioning the South Coast within that. But people wanted to know where could they see the Big Five. It was obviously in our best interest to market the whole of South Africa, and we packaged then, or Shishlui plus the South Coast, flying to King Shaka or fly directly via Semair into our destination. Via this, they wanted to see. A lot of people still want to see the wine routes. No problem for us.
They didn't ask you whether there were lines in the streets or something like that, like some of them do.
No, I think a lot of the Europeans are switched on nowadays. Maybe perhaps some other countries, but.
Okay, Nikki, give us some figures if you have. I see you've got your laptop here on the size of this Das Boot show.
Well, as I mentioned, there's 17 halls, so it is so big that they actually have buses taking you from one hall to the other. That's how big it is in its spatial. 1,160 odd exhibitors, and just under 250,000 people attended in the 10-day show. I think that in itself is flabbergasting. To actually comprehend that unless you're there is just mind-blowing.
Okay, Düsseldorf is a big city. Accommodation, I mean, did they have enough accommodation, beds for everybody within a reasonable distance from the exhibition.
Yes, it certainly seems so, and the Germans are incredibly jacked up with tourism. For example, with their train system, if you had bought a day's ticket or you were an exhibitor or whatever it might be, you get free train rides everywhere you want to go. So they really cater for people coming into the country. So people staying outside of Düsseldorf had access to all this free transport too, which is another inviting aspect to coming into the show. So they really maxed out with the Swiss and everybody else coming through the borders.
And did you have an opportunity to experience the Rhine and the rest of the country
Well,
somewhere?
unfortunately, the day I wanted to do the Rhine, we had quite a lot of snow, so they decided not to run any barges. But Old Town is beautiful and well worth trying the craft beer there. And otherwise, really, I was there for work, and we were all there for work. We had our heads down, and we hopefully will make the South Coast very proud when some of these leads turn out to be, realistic.
Thank you very much, Nikki.
Thanks, Johan. Good to be back.